Welcome back to The Mature Male. I'm your host, Wes, a practicing psychotherapist with a focus on helping people find meaning, direction, heal from trauma, and mature through practical guidance and wisdom. There's a practice so powerful, it can transform your mental state in under 60 seconds, yet most men never use it consistently. Today, we're exploring how gratitude isn't just a feel-good practice, it's actually a fundamental discipline that separates boys from men. So let's get into it. The entitlement epidemic among young men and its consequences is rampant today. We're going to discuss entitlement and gratitude, what they each are, the breakdown of things. We'll explore the deeper principle of gratitude, examine how it transforms our relationships, and give you a practical system you can start today. What if the key to getting more out of what you want is appreciating what you already have? Segment 1, the principle. The gratitude paradox, finding freedom through appreciation. We're going to talk about how entitlement creates a psychological prison while gratitude creates freedom. If you think about entitlement, at its core, it creates a sense of demand and delineation, meaning there are absolutes when you are entitled, and you are limited to those absolutes, which in the moment feels more powerful, more in control, and more secure. But ultimately, it is binding you to the false needs and illusions of what you think is important. Gratitude, on the other hand, creates freedom. It's expansive, it's generative, and it acknowledges what already is. It doesn't demand what needs to be. Now, why is entitlement so strongly correlated with men? Of course, every person is entitled or has been entitled in their life. But let's talk about the masculine perspective on gratitude as a strength and not a weakness. The reason why many of us men feel entitled is because we have been given certain opportunities that we have not earned. And out of not needing to sacrifice, pay a cost, we become entitled. We expect others to do things for us or to give us something without us giving something in return. That's the basis of entitlement. An example, this is why 60% of all duties related to rearing a child still fall on the mother. And this is the lowest that percentage has ever been. But as men, we overlook the duties and obligations that don't fall within our preference. We're great at being faithful to playing golf on the weekends or watching the sports game. But are we faithful and obligated to our household tasks and chores and things that our family is asking of us that we feel entitled to have? Or maybe it's at work. You think that you have worked hard, so you deserve a raise. While that may be true, it doesn't correlate one for one. The hard work stands alone as being worth it. It doesn't mean you should expect something in return. And that is the biggest lie of entitlement. It says, whether I work for this or whether I believe I shouldn't have to work for this, I deserve it. Entitlement never has enough. It always needs more to fulfill it. While gratitude recognizes the enoughness that's already in your life, where you don't need more. The reason why we can often feel that gratitude is not a worthy virtue as a man are the three things I mentioned that entitlement gives you. Because gratitude can often feel powerless. It can feel insecure, and it can feel out of control. We may say, I'm just being thankful about something. What does this really matter? But it's a mindset shift to truly become aware of the value of what's already going on in your life, who you are, and what you have. This is a strength. It's not a weakness, because being thankful requires humiliation. In a way, it requires a lowering of self because you are recognizing the value of something outside of you. Entitlement uses the pursuit of more to gain a stronger sense of control, power, and security. Again, it feels good in the moment, but ultimately it's living in an illusion. When we are entitled, we physically tend to tense up, demand more, we can be greedy. When we are thankful as men, we tend to be more open and caring and accepting. And these are traits that are not perpetuated in the stereotype as men, but they're vital to our masculinity. It's important to be thankful. What is the difference between entitlement and ambition then? Because some of you may be thinking, if I am grateful for my life and what's in it, fair enough. Let me try to do that. Do I just sit around and do that though? Is ambition also just as bad as entitlement? And the answer is no. Ambition is the honest pursuit of something more, something beyond yourself, something greater. It's the drive to transcend your current circumstances, to grow, to expand, to progress. Ambition in and of itself is a good thing. That is a quality that women look for in a man because it shows that he has vision, shows that he has motivation, and most of all, it shows that he has potential to continually become the man he is meant to be. Ambition that is unchecked and unstructured can become entitlement. When we are ambitious about the wrong things, trying to make more money, trying to buy more material goods, trying to gain more power in life, then that shifts into entitlement. As we are ambitious, if we are compromising the integrity of how we treat others in a fair, wise, noble, and loving manner, that is entitlement. To think the process doesn't matter, I'm just going to bulldoze my way through here with ambition to get to where I want to go. That is entitlement. And lastly, ambition that is simply done for sake is wrong. You need a true meaning for what you're ambitious in. If you're just ambitious and you say, "Oh, I'm just an ambitious person," or ambition is good, so I'm just going to emulate that quality. That is entitlement because it's overlooking what you already have. So in one way, if you saw what you already had, maybe you wouldn't be so ambitious. If you were grateful for what was already given to you, maybe you wouldn't pursue the wrong things because you would realize everything you need and that matters is already within you and around you as your life. So that is the difference between those two. Now let's talk about myth busting, some common misconceptions about gratitude. First, why gratitude isn't about ignoring problems. Some people have this belief that gratitude is closing your eyes, maybe physically or mentally, to block out everything wrong. Maybe your life feels like a dumpster fire and you think, oh, I'm just gonna sit still, be thankful, even though my life is falling apart. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the things that are going well. It's also being thankful for things that are painful, that are unjust, that are wrong. Not thankful in the sense that we're endorsing them as wishing it would happen, but for the lessons we can learn in having experienced those less than ideal situations. And it's not using thankfulness and gratitude to bypass our problems and overlooking the need to be responsible for our problems. We are always responsible for our problems. We have to start by addressing them, but hand in hand with addressing them, we can be thankful for what we're learning, how we're growing, and what we're experiencing. An example here would be, let's say you struggle with anger, raising your voice, getting upset at people easily. That's a problem. You need to own up to that. And as you own up to it, you can say, I'm thankful for my anger because it shows me what I care about. It shows me that I am alive, that I have power, that I want to make something right that's wrong. I'm thankful for the opportunity to learn to express that in a more effective manner. I'm thankful that I'm learning it in a way that is decreasing the suffering in others' lives. That goes hand in hand. So gratitude doesn't bypass the problems or ignore them. It actually faces them, integrates them, and moves through and beyond them. Next, the difference between genuine gratitude and performative thankfulness. So how often have you done something well and your first response is either to minimize that compliment or encouragement by saying thanks, but it was no big deal, but it was actually all this person, etc. Or you accept it, but quickly move on from it. So maybe you say, "Oh, thanks," and then you move on. That is not truly being thankful. It can be uncomfortable to be thankful because, again, it requires some sort of vulnerability of saying, ooh, there's a part of me that doesn't feel comfortable with receiving encouragement or compliments. Address that area. It is not healthy to deny encouragement and affirmation for who you are. Stop self-flagellating in shame and thinking that it's vital to minimize or ignore calling out the virtues, good acts, and deeds, and the person that you are. Part of maturity is truly knowing how to receive thankfulness, to pay attention to that person's words, the way they're saying it. And when they say it, letting it truly settle in, like opening a gift and really taking in the reality of what someone is reflecting in you and what they see. The other side of this is not just receiving thankfulness, but the difference in genuine being thankful on your end or using being thankful in a performative measure. An example would be someone does something for you at work. You genuinely don't care that they did that. You only say thank you so you can get something out of it, so you can appear like a kind, nice person. An example of this is when you're younger, your parents might have told you, say, "I'm sorry," and you might roll your eyes, and you're not really sorry, right? But you say, "I'm sorry." That is performative. You're doing that so your parent can get off your back and you can move on. And we can do that with thankfulness. We can use it as a way to be ambitious, to progress, and actually not do it in a genuine way. So maybe we are thankful in expressing gratitude to those around us. But again, it's because we want people to know that we're humble, that we really see all the blessings of life around us. But deep down, we may be completely ignoring the true value of our life and those around us just for the sake of progressing and getting what we want. Then the last piece is how gratitude connects us to something larger than ourselves. If we stop and take a moment to think about how you got to where you are today, it was not solely by your own merit. You didn't birth yourself. You didn't dress yourself, bathe yourself, feed yourself for the first 2 or 3 years of life. Then when you started doing that, you didn't provide a shelter for yourself until you became an adult. You didn't teach yourself all the knowledge of school. You didn't protect yourself with the way that authority figures did in your life. You didn't create the jobs that you're working. Someone else decided to give you those opportunities. If we stop and think about this, we quickly realize that the majority of our life, our opportunities, experiences, resources, things that were given to us, we did not earn them, nor did not create them. That points to something larger than ourselves. Entitlement limits the ambition and the receiving just to us. We feel entitled to have it alone. It is isolating. It is limiting reality to the way we only see it. And it is antisocial. When we are truly thankful, we realize the value and the generosity that goes well beyond what we could ever contribute or do. And that goes back to the feeling powerless, insecure, and out of control. We don't want to admit that we need others, that others got us to where we are. This is why in award speech, it's standard to thank everyone who helped you get to where you are to earn that award. Whether or not people mean it, who knows? But it's interesting that people often start with thanking God, a higher power, then they move into their family, then they move into those they've worked with around them, colleagues and friends, mentors. That is seeing your life as more than you because other people are involved. When we are thankful, it tunes us into a deeper reality of seeing a value beyond our own perception. For example, if you try this and you're thankful, you're taking a walk and you see a tree and you just say that you're thankful for that, there's this immediate resonance that that tree has been there a long time. It's providing shade. It's providing beauty. It can provide protection. And all of that realization happens outside of your own life. We can so easily get hyper-focused on only paying attention to the things that benefit us, that progress us, that make us feel good. It's me, 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 me. It's back to the entitlement. Gratitude brings us outside of ourselves to include ourselves, of course, but it doesn't limit things to ourselves, both in those around us that have value, the things around us that have value, and the realities and the experiences around us that have value. And it makes us realize we are a part of something bigger than ourselves. Let's move into segment 2. This is real life applications. I want to share a personal story about how gratitude shifted my perspective during a difficult time. I was moving from New York to Boston with my wife the end of December, and we packed a U-Haul. It was cold and rainy, and we got to the apartment late. We had family meet us there. We unloaded, and I was not thankful. I had to drive the whole time. I was tired because it was raining, and so I had to pay extra attention to the road to make sure we didn't wreck. And then when we got there, some family members weren't helping as much as I wish. And then the apartment really hadn't been cleaned out at all. It was basically how it was left, with furniture and nails in the wall, and so it made it difficult to move things in because then we had to clean it up and get it in a spot where we could set the apartment up in our desired manner. And then I was really tired, and my family ended up staying for a little bit eating pizza, and I just wanted to go to bed. But I had this moment where I decided, you know what? I'm just going to attempt to think about what I can be thankful for. So I thought, I'm thankful that we have a place to live. Family has offered at a discounted rate. I'm thankful that we have friends help us load the U-Haul to begin with in New York. I'm thankful for the safety because we could have wrecked on the journey to Boston. I'm thankful for family that jumped right in and helped us unload when we got there in a way that would have taken us way longer if we had done it ourselves. I'm thankful for having furniture and other items that we own that we can use to live. I'm thankful for the opportunity to make this apartment our own. And I'm thankful for the opportunity overall to move to a place where we can settle in, where we'll have support and love. All that took less than 2 minutes to name, but it radically shifted my perspective of the experience of moving. Now, I still have my frustrations, but it allowed me to see it different. So now let's shift gears a little to talk about how ingratitude undermines modern masculinity. We know there's a direct link between entitlement and chronic dissatisfaction. The same people that are always demanding for their needs to be met always seem to never be satisfied. Those go hand in hand. How many times do you see someone that uses coded language, by the way, which means the words have a different meaning to the person saying them than what they objectively mean? So I'll give you an example. I see people online think they are entitled to dating. Well, it's women that are the problem. I can't believe that they won't go on a date with me. They won't put out for me. I should be able to get a date. It should be easy. I deserve to get laid. That is a chronic dissatisfaction with missing the point of dating and interacting with women. People do that with finances too. I should be able just to work a little bit, make a ton of money, and retire. I shouldn't have to work for someone else, listen to someone else telling me what to do. Chronic dissatisfaction. and it's ruining the man that you are. It appears weak, feeble, and insecure, selfish, and people don't want to engage with those that are entitled. It's important to learn to be thankful as a way to combat the entitlement. So ask yourself right now, what are the things in my life I feel entitled to, that I deserve, that I should have? That word should shows the expectations within the entitlement. Where am I dissatisfied with something and I've overlooked the need to be thankful for it, to see the value in it? Gratitude also affects leadership. If you are a leader in an organization or in your family or in your friend group and you are ungrateful, that spoils the culture of those around you. It says that the group is not enough, the individuals are not enough, and your current status is not enough. And while there's always room to grow and a good leader knows how to lead people into further growth and progress, that growth is out of the thankfulness for what is already going well, for what that person is already exuding strengths and positive affirmations in. That creates the capacity to progress. If you start with entitlement, there is no capacity to progress and move forward in something and earning it and hard work, because the entitlement says, just give it to me. I just need it now as it is. I shouldn't have to do anything. I don't need to put in the work to get that. And it affects team dynamics. It creates a mistrust because you can never feel empowered to work towards something. You feel like that person just deserves that, or you feel like you deserve it, and you overlook the available trust. Because without the ability to take an action, to progress, to work, you are demanding that you deserve something. It removes the intimacy and connection that you have with somebody, because it's purely transactional, not relational. The next point is that gratitude is actually a competitive edge. If you look at the top performers in sports, in business, in healthcare, in the arts, there are high performers that are not thankful and entitled, but by and large, the ones that are truly performing and functioning at peak levels integrate gratitude practices that reframe how they see what they're performing in. An example is their NBA players. When interviewed, instead of complaining about everything that's wrong and needing more money or needing a better team, that is entitlement. The best will always speak simply. They'll say, I'm just grateful for another day to play basketball, to grow in my skills as a shooter. They integrate gratitude as a performer. And when we appreciate people and things, it actually improves our decision-making and problem solving. It allows us to more effectively make decisions and solve problems. Finally, there's a connection between gratitude and resiliency during adversity. If you're going through a difficult time, the ability to be thankful deflates the hyper dramatization of whatever you're going through. An example is if you are having a difficult day at work, you have a lot of work, you feel like you're not being appreciated for what you're doing, people are asking you to do things last minute, and you're getting pissed. Can't believe this shit. Can't believe I have to do it. You start complaining, getting entitled. Your ability to be thankful, to say, hey, at least people trust me enough to do something. I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm thankful for the ability to take on a greater workload as an opportunity to grow as an employee. That increases your capacity to be resilient to the adversity. Resilience is increasing the tolerance to handle a negative situation in a way that has less negative impact on you. Being thankful reframes the situation to lose the false sense of power that adversity has over you. It allows you to see it for what it is, but also for what it isn't. That it's usually not as big a deal as we think it is. It doesn't have the same long-term effects we think it does. And ultimately, our ability to ground ourselves in being grateful allows us to better handle the situation at hand, to realize it's important, but it's not the end of the world. It's not everything. It properly places the adversity in a manageable way that allows us to feel empowered to face it, not as something we want to face it, but something we feel like we can face it. When we are not thankful, we can tend to get in this victim mindset. Poor me. I can't believe this happened to me. Why me? And we rob ourselves of the power of handling that situation with a greater resiliency, and it allows the adversity to have more power than it needs to. Segment 3, practical tools and applications. First, the 3-2-1 gratitude framework. 3 daily appreciations in the morning. You can do this verbally or you can journal about this. 2, express thanks. That's verbal or written to others. You may write to your spouse or your boss or a friend that you're thankful for them in a particular manner or for something that they've done. And 1, reframed challenge. Find the opportunity in a difficulty. But whatever your challenge is today, challenge yourself to reframe the challenge and adversity in being thankful and asking yourself, what can you learn through going through that situation? So that is the 3-2-1 gratitude framework. How might your life change if you saw everything as a gift? That is a hard question to answer because there are many things that are not right in our lives that are painful and causing negative effects. Why should we be thankful for those? We should be thankful for them, not for the nature in which they occur, but for the realizations, the insights, the lessons, the wisdom, the takeaways that we can have in going through that unideal situation or experience. And also, we numb ourselves out to all the beauty around us. Familiarity breeds contempt. You see your spouse every day. When's the last time you truly expressed a gratitude for them instead of just someone else who's living with you along for the ride, doing things that make you angry, or someone you're always in a fight with? Same with your job. When's the last time you showed up and you weren't dreading another work day? You saw your job as a gift. Your friends and your family, imperfect. You certainly have issues with your family, but can you be thankful for the gift that at least you have family to have issues with? How might your life change if you saw everything as a gift? The next practice is gratitude for different personality types. If you are an analytical thinker, go with an evidence-based approach, meaning research scientifically proven formulaic ways of being thankful that are proven methods that motivate you to try thankfulness. If you're an action-oriented person, try gratitude through physical practices. So challenge yourself to say, this week, as I lift weights, I'm going to be thankful for my body. Or as I have dinner with my family, I'm going to be thankful for the food that I'm eating. For the achievement-oriented men, use gratitude as a performance tool. Find ways to genuinely be thankful in a way that helps you become a more functional and effective person. Your ability to express gratitude in an authentic manner can get you to places you want to go. What if you saw gratitude as the very thing that'll get you there? Then the last tool and practice is overcoming resistance to gratitude. You have to address the "this is too soft" objection. We can minimize the effect of gratitude. We chop it up to a mantra, a silly yoga practice, and we mock it as not being effective. But that's because conceptually we are not willing to see it for what it is. We see it as too soft, then why would we try it? We need to overcome our resistance to it by seeing it as a strength, as a sense of fortitude, a shield and a wall that can actually protect us. Again, building up the resiliency in adversity and objections. When someone gives you feedback and you didn't want to hear it, starting with thanking them for giving you feedback disarms the over-personalization that you can be tempted to have. Someone tells you, hey, messed up grammatically here, or you use this word in the wrong context. Instead of just getting entitled, oh, I shouldn't have to change this. Who are you to tell me what to do? Shifting that and saying, you know what? Thank you for that feedback. This gives me an opportunity to grow and become better, sharpen my skills, and ultimately not make the same mistake again. I want to reiterate how to practice gratitude during genuine hardship. So when you are going through something difficult, make it a standard that you're not just trying to effectively solve a problem or get yourself out of the situation, but make it a practice to be thankful for what's going on in the midst of the hardship. Don't wait till afterwards to be thankful. Lastly, build the gratitude habit through small, consistent steps. If you haven't been thankful at all, just try to be thankful to your wife or your girlfriend or the closest person to you, or a family member or a boss. Just start with a small practice within the 3-2-1 framework of finding one thing that you're grateful for and writing it down, saying it out loud, and then build from there. The more thankful you are as a person, the more free and open, expansive you are, the more generative you are, the less need you have to hold on and control and manipulate and bulldoze. So here's the conclusions and takeaways. Gratitude isn't just feeling thankful on a sensory level. It is a strategic choice that shapes your mind and your life. There will be many times you don't feel thankful, but your ability to authentically express the gratitude breaks the need to feel it. I want to challenge you all this week to try the 3-2-1 framework that we talked about. 3 daily appreciations, 2 express thanks, verbal or written, to others, and 1 reframed challenge where you find the opportunity to be grateful in the midst of difficulty. And notice how your perspective shifts as you try this. I call it lawnmower results. Try it and you'll see the difference right away. Right now, you may be unaware of how often you are ungrateful or entitled. Those are poisonous things. It's like eating junk food. In the moment, it feels really good, but we don't realize all the chemicals and nasty shit that we're eating that we need to avoid and detox from to change with ingesting and perceiving life from a thankful manner.